Whoa! I didn't think that would actually work. That was weird. Wonder if I can do that again. Cool.
Baby, you're a stitch man. Baby, you're a stitch man. Baby, you're a stitch man. Duh. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Hi, everybody! Welcome back to my Flosstube. I'm gonna warn you right off the bat before I even get started. I am wound up and I am hyper this morning. I don't know what I ate and I don't know what I drank, but I'm raring to go and it might be messy. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I don't know how you found your way here or what you're doing here, but I hope you know what you're in for. We're serious stitchers here. We take ourselves serious. We take our stitching seriously, but we don't take ourselves seriously. And when I say we, I mean me. So there's nobody else here. There's just me. So grab your beer, take your pants off. Let's have a party. They look. Land shark. Doo doo. I hope everybody's had a good 2 weeks. I had a real good 2 weeks. I got a lot of stitching done. I got a lot of cleaning done. I got a lot of kitty snuggling done. Got a lot of dad time in, teaching my son all the important things, only the important things. I teach him all the life skills that he's going to need to make it in this world. That and nothing else. Dylan, who's this?
John.
Who's this?
Winner.
Who's this?
Paul.
And who's this?
Church.
Kid's a genius. A prodigy. By the way, it's Super Bowl weekend. Is everybody excited about that? I mean, I don't really care all that much about football. I am going to watch it. I care enough to watch. Kind of just an excuse to drink beer and eat chips. But I am going to watch. And as much as I don't care about it, I do care about this. And if there's any New England Patriots fans out there, I'm probably going to get the most dislikes I've ever gotten on a video. But I do like that the Patriots didn't want Tom Brady anymore because he's too old. And guess who's in the Super Bowl? And guess who's not? Tom Brady is in the Super Bowl, and the Patriots are at home crying in their Cheerios. Who's the old man now, shitheads? So, 2 weeks ago, I sat here in this very spot with my 475 subscribers, and I said, quite modestly, I thought, that if within those 2 weeks before I make this video, if I could go from 475 to 500 and actually cross over that 500 subscriber mark, that maybe I would have some sort of a thank you, yay, 500 subscriber giveaway. So did we do it? Did we do it? Did we cross over 500? Let's take a look. Let's look at the numbers here. What do we got here? Whoa! Where did you all come from? Welcome. I'm glad you're here. And I do kind of know why you're here. It's not like you just jumped on YouTube and started searching for idiot clown Flosstuber. You're here because a bunch of my squad members told you that you should come here. So thank you to you and thank you to all of them. I got a whole bunch of people shouting me out in their videos and tagging me on Instagram and putting me in their stories. And I wish I could have thanked you at the time, except I don't know how to use anything because I'm 90 years old. I especially the Instagram stories. I don't know how to reply to those. I don't know how to put those in my own stories. I don't know how to I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. Can somebody want to give me a tutorial? Because I have no idea what I'm doing. Once upon a time, Darcy didn't know how to use Instagram. Just story. It was a pretty big couple of weeks for your old pal, Darcy. The world turned upside down. A whole bunch of people, Flosstubers, that I'm fans of, that I watch, that I've been fans of since even before I started Flosstubing, started messaging me, telling me that they're fans of me. I don't know what's going on or how this happened, but it was pretty exciting. And one of those people, brace yourself, you might want to sit down for this. You might want to put your shin pads on, your knee pads, your elbow pads. Take your protein pills and put your helmets on. Ellen Reed from Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour and I are friends now. What? What did I just say? Did I just say that? And with that, I think Flosstube just folded in on itself and disappeared into a black hole. Anyway, thank you all very much. I'm glad you're here. There's always room for more squad members. There's only one warning that I will give you. Do not sit in Claire's seat. She'll rough you up. Don't say I didn't warn you. By the way, if you're just here for the giveaway, it's probably going to be more toward the end of the video. If you want to skip ahead just to that. Look, I'll even be nice. Look, here it is right here. There's my, that's where you can skip ahead to right there. Skip through all the nonsense and just get to the free stuff. Go for it. All right, let's get down to business. I feel like there's a lot to get to today and I don't want it to drag on too long. I actually try to make these things around 30 to 40 minutes on purpose. That's not an accident. It comes out that way on purpose because, I don't know, I feel like when you guys make long videos, some of you make like longer, an hour and a half videos, and I really like them. I like them a lot, and I like that I don't have to like make a playlist. I don't have to search for something else. I can just put it on, and that's what I stitch to, and like it's done for me. But for some reason, when it's me, I just kind of feel like it's excessive, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, cool, Darcy made a new video." Aw, it's an hour long. Like, who's got time for that?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So, I don't know. I try to keep it to around 40 minutes, but we'll see, because there's stuff that I want to get to today, and I'm wasting a lot of time telling you that there's stuff that I'm going to get to today. But I have actually considered, if any of you would be interested, it doesn't have to be 30 or 40 minutes. I can go all day long. And it has crossed my mind that it might be an interesting experiment one of these times to just do an epic, like, here's my Lawrence of Arabia or something. Like, strap yourselves in, settle in for the evening, get your snacks, get your drinks, because we're spending the evening either watching Darcy or watching Godfather Part 2, because there's not enough time for both. It's gonna be one or the other. I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart. You broke my heart. Would anybody actually watch that if I went for 2 or 3 hours? What do you think? Anybody? I do want to do 2 really quick shout outs before I get to my stitch and stuff. But before I do that, I have a little bit of like a preamble to my shout outs, because I do appreciate this. A lot of people that either have their own floss tube or that think that I would like some other floss tuber do tell me about it. Hey, I think you would like this one, or I think you would like mine. And I do like that, and please keep doing that, because some of the people that have become part of my regular rotation, that's how I found them. But I do want to tell you that you don't have to preface everything with, I'm not exactly like you, or I'm not crazy like you, or I'm not funny like you, or I don't do heaven and earth designs, or I don't do full coverage, or like all of these things that are why you're different from me, as if it's some kind of warning. Let me tell you right now, I am with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's plenty. I don't need more. So you don't have to say that you're completely different from me as if it's some kind of a warning. I don't need more me. I like that a lot of the people that I watch are stitching things that I probably won't ever stitch, maybe wouldn't even want to stitch. Not my style. It doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just I like watching you do it instead of me doing it. That's what I like. I don't want to watch people that are doing the exact same things as me and acting the exact same way as I'm acting. That's not what I like. So anyway, you can drop the warnings about, like, if you're not a lunatic, then sorry, you might not like me. I'll like you. There's only so many straitjackets in this asylum. We don't all need to be wearing one. So first, we've got Chessie from Cassie Joe Stitches. I love the way she talks. She sounds just like Frances McDormand in Fargo.
Okay. Are you sure?
And she does a lot of fantastic stitchings. She's got a Harry Potter one she's working on. I love Harry Potter. So like I'm a little bit biased, but it's fantastic. She finished Lady of Liberty or something. You'd think I would write these things down. I don't, but it was, whatever the one that she finished a couple of weeks ago was fantastic. I loved it. And her cats are always jumping up on the counters and drinking out of the sink and whatever the hell they're doing. And I don't know. She's really charming. I really like her. She's doing a giveaway, and if I don't win, it's rigged. Rigged! She's really charming. I really like her. I hope you check her out. She's awesome. And by the way, I kid. I kid because I love. And who am I? Who am I to talk about how somebody talks? Because you know what? Somebody messaged me or commented on Instagram and said, hey, are you a New Brunswicker? Because you have a really recognizably thick New Brunswick accent. Pardon me? Accent? Me? Another person that I got all caught up with is Alyssa Jones. Super charming, really nice, in a quiet, charm kind of a way. Fantastic stitchings, some small, some big, a whole bunch of different, this is what I'm talking about. Maybe nothing that I would stitch, but I love watching other people stitch them. Also, am I crazy? Yes, but did you do a video in late January in front of your Christmas tree? Was your Christmas tree still up? Please say yes, because if that's the case, you are definitely my people. It's Christmas all year long. At least in here it is. One of the other things that comes up whenever I see an Alyssa Jones video pop up is there's a Bob Dylan song that always pops into my head and that I sing to myself before I watch your videos. So it's, for me, has become kind of like your theme song. And I was thinking about maybe I should sing it for you guys so you can all sing it along too. And then I thought, maybe I should sing it? Maybe I should sing it? Of course I'm going to sing it! Something is happening, but you don't know what it is. Do you, Alyssa Jones? Here we go! Stitching stuff. That wasn't so long, was it? It probably was. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it always is. It never feels like that long, but here we are. Look at me flipping through pages. I'm not prepared. I am not prepared. I'm just going to start with this one just to get it out of the way because there's not really anything to talk about. Bloop. I didn't work on this at all. And the reason for that is, and by the way, thank you to everybody who gave me so many different options for how to organize my floss besides my floss chaos. So the reason I didn't work on that one this week at all is because I did order floss away bags. A lot of people, the majority of people, their solution seemed to be floss away bags. So I'm going to try that, and I'm waiting for them to show up. They've shipped. They just haven't shown up yet, and I just don't want to bother with it until they show up and I can try my new system. When it does show up, when they do show up, however many bags I ordered, and I get them all organized, I'm going to focus on that one probably for at least a few days. Just so I can see if it works or not, give it a chance, because I'm really resistant to anything different. And even if it's something different that's better, sometimes it takes me a long time to get used to it and not think that I hate it. So I'm going to give it a chance for a few days, at least, just that. And I hope it works. And thank you for all the suggestions. I also said last time, and I should know better, I said this one, and look, I got ink for my printer. I can hold up a thing now. So this one, actually, it's printed off really small. Maybe I should have just stuck with my inserting a picture. I said last time that this was probably going to be the one that I made the most progress on. And it ended up being the one that I made the least amount of progress on. Whatever I actually want to do, I should just say I'm going to do the opposite, because that's what always happens. But I mean, I did do a pretty good chunk. I'm actually kind of impressed with myself for how evenly I spread my stitching this week amongst my works in progress. It's a pretty similar amount that I got done on 3 out of 4 of them, which for me, I think is pretty good. So this is how much I got done on that. I don't remember where I was. Maybe I'll start doing here's where I was last time and here's where I am this time, if anybody even cares. I don't know if I even care. If I don't care, what are the chances that you care? Anyway, this is where it is right now, and I think it's looking pretty good. I did at least this much. There might have been maybe this much and this much, which is not bad. I mean, I could have been way down here, but I was spreading it out evenly like I said I was going to. So I worked on everything. And look, this is looking real good. Every time I hold this up to the camera instead of in front of my face, I think, wow, that looks really good. I should work on that more. It's not that it doesn't look good when I hold it up in front of my face, but there's something about this that just looks look at that. I need to see more of that. That's going to be some kind of weird looking elephant with long stringy legs. It's going to look awesome. By the way, 18 count Ada, 2 over 1. And then we've got this guy right here, Chessie. Last time I had just finished page 1, and that's all I had done was fully page 1. And I was a little bit, not afraid, but like I thought that I might, like, instead of spreading stuff out evenly, that I was gonna like work mainly on this again, just because like there's a moon right here and there's a cat face right here, and I'm gonna start wanting to see the things instead of just the purple. And I did. I did want to see those things. But I didn't get as far as the cat. I did the moon mostly. Look at that. There's a moon right there. I did that really quickly, and first thing, like right after I finished filming my last one, I got right on top of this because I just wanted to see a moon. And there it is, a moon. So once I got like to the point of like, okay, that looks like a legitimate moon, then that's when I started spreading it out and actually working on other things. Not that I'm not also excited about, like, where are we here? Right here to here. Like this whole area right here is going to be cat head and eyeball, which is very exciting. There's not too much left that's just like purple background. It's like mostly cat. And I do really want to see that. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens this week. If I like, once I get the tip of the ear, I might just keep going, or maybe I'll keep working on other things. I don't know. I just wish there were more hours in a day to work on stuff. Hours. I am completely fine. I've only had one sip so far. Oh my god, it's almost empty. Dang 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 ding dong ding, blue moon, blue moon, blue moon. Do 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 do, blue 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 moon. Do 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 do. And look at me doing things that I actually should be doing. This one right here, my princess with a Himalayan cat. I got the Q snap on, and I started working on it again. And I did this much. Look how much I did. That's not bad considering all the rest that I did on all my other things. That would have been this full page probably. Look, these aren't even full pages that I have left. These are like little baby pages. If I was just working on this, I might be on the last page right now. And look, it's in the test stitches 8x11. I did an 8x11. Witchcraft. That's witchcraft. Let's throw her in the river and see if she floats. Part of the reason, I think there might actually be 2 reasons why I don't work on this as furiously as I could or should be and just get it done. One reason, and this is kind of just a lame excuse to do other things, but one of the reasons is this is all that's left. It's just going to be like a little bit more dress and darkness and a little bit more dress and darkness. And like, now that I'm making Flosstube videos, I don't know. I don't want to bore you. I don't want to just show you the exact same thing week after week after week until 6 months from now, when that's all I've been working on. Like, I mean, I know I can fill in the rest of the time just being an idiot. I can always do that, but I kind of want to have more fun things to show. And that's also kind of just an excuse because I actually do want to be working on those more fun things. There's a lot of things I want to be working on, and I'm glad to be doing more things. So it's a little bit of an excuse, but that is part of it. The other part of it is, and I'm sure I've heard other people talk about this before, so I'm sure this is a thing that everybody goes through, especially with one that has taken a really long time, I think subconsciously, I'm not really like doing this on purpose, but I'm a little bit afraid to finish it and to not have it anymore. Does anybody else go through that? Because this has been sitting beside me in my to-do pile since 2012, and now it's 2021, and I'm on the verge of actually finishing it. And when I do finish it, as happy as I'm going to be that it's finished and it's going to look great and it's going to be on my wall and look at that, it's done. It's like, that's the moment that I get like completely detached from it. Like it's not my baby anymore. It's out there in the world. And like, I'm a little bit afraid to let it go. I don't know what it's going to feel like to not have that as a work in progress. And I'm not looking forward to that part of it. In the past, and this is another reason why now that I have started working on multiple things instead of just one thing, that I actually do like this about the multitasking, is because in the past, whenever I would finish something, I was only working on one thing at a time. And when I would finish it, I would feel such a sense of panic that I didn't have a work in progress on the go that I could grab, that I would immediately, and I mean immediately, start a new one. Like, I would take 5 minutes to iron the thing and take a couple of pictures and stare at it like, yeah, look at that. That worked really well. Okay, on to the next one right away. I wouldn't even sleep on it. I would start a new one right away because I did not like the feeling of emptiness and anxiety that it gave me to not have a cross-stitching on the go that I could just pick up and start. So I would start a new one immediately. So I do like that about having other works in progress. The sadness that I'm going to feel when this one is finished, I can grab one of my other ones that's also making me happy, and it'll make me feel a little bit better. Okay, so another thing that I'm going to do as its own little segment here, maybe this will be the only time I ever do this, or maybe this will be a regular thing. I don't know. But I've actually gotten, either in comments or several on on Instagram, questions. People are asking me questions, like as if I have some sort of knowledge. I don't know, like, is that some sort of sign of the apocalypse that people are looking to me for answers? People are looking to me for answers? You might want to start storing your canned goods because I feel like something bad's about to happen. But I'm going to do a little Q&A for the questions that I've got, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And I'm going to sing a little theme song too. This is the all singing show. Here we go. Ask me anything. I'm going to say before I start doing this that I wrote down a couple of the key points of the questions that I was asked. I did not write down who asked me the questions. I'm sorry. I know I was probably supposed to do that. I've seen other people do that. Here, so-and-so asked me this and so-and-so asked me this. I didn't do that. And I know I could still do that. I could just hit pause here and go find and do my homework and give you credit for the questions you asked. But can we just agree that if this ever happens, if I get enough questions to ever do this again, that I'll do it next time? I'll do it next time. I don't want to do it this time. Don't make me do stuff. One more quick thing that I am also going to say is just because this is the way I do something, that in no way, and not even a little bit, means that I'm doing it right and you're doing it wrong if you're doing it differently. I have no tolerance for people who think that the way that they do something is the right way and the only way. Sweet Brown, help me out one more time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm not telling you anything that is in a way this is the way you should be doing it. All I can show you is what I do, and you can decide if any of that is helpful for the way that you also do it, or not at all. If everything that I say is the complete opposite of the way that you do things and the way that you like to do things, fine. Don't do it. Ignore everything that I say. Do it your way, because that is the best way. The way that works best for you is the best way. One person asked me about cross-country stitching and when you jump over, I've got threads all over the place, or I'm going to use one color and just do it all over you know what I'm talking about. Don't make me explain shit. You know it better than I do. Why are you asking me questions? I don't tend to cross-country. This is why can we start again? The reason that my stitchings tend to look all neat and clean and boxy like this, I don't have parked threads, I don't have stitches all over the place, is because I don't tend to jump all over the place. I go one or maybe two squares at a time. And when I say squares, I forget that some people don't stitch heaven and earth designs. Here's a heaven and earth pattern. They've got them boxed off in really obvious and really clear 10 by 10 squares. You don't have to stitch them in 10 by 10 squares. You can stitch any way you like. You can do you can jump all over the place if you want. You can do it any way you want. But I like doing 10 by 10 squares, no more than usually 2 at a time. So that's why it always look, this is one 10 by 10 square that is left. I did this many. And there it is. That's the way I like to do it. So I tend not to jump all over the place with one color any more than maybe within the square, maybe from one side of the square to another, if I had a stitch here and a stitch here, I might jump over, but that's as far as I would ever go. If it's going to be farther than that, and even if I want to work on 2 squares at once and the other, like one stitch was here and the other one was over here, I would probably, secure it and tie it off and save it for when I actually got over. I just don't like jumping around like that. I've had too many times where I'm like stitching or like putting my needle underneath and I pull it out because like the thread is so long underneath that it gets caught, and I pull it out or I mess it up. Like, I just don't like to do that. Does not mean that doing that is wrong or that there's anything wrong with doing that. Jump all over everywhere if you want to. That's just somebody asked me how I do it and why mine always looks so sort of clean and boxy. And that's why, because I do it cleanly and I do it boxily. I got another question about the extra fabric that hangs down. Like if you're doing a really big project, what do you do with the extra fabric that's like hanging down and always in the way? I try as best I can. I can show you all of my things if you want. As best as I can to roll it up in such a way, that the snaps of the Q-snap hold it in place, because I absolutely cannot deal with fabric hanging down. If I was stitching like this and like fabric was flopping on my hands, forget it. I just wouldn't do it. So I try to keep it, no matter how big the project is, I try to keep it about the size of the Q-snap if that's even possible, because that's as big of an area as I want. I don't want extra shit touching my hands. I don't like things on my hands. Get off my hands. So I try to roll it up and fold it up in a way that the extra fabric will actually be snapped into the Q-snap. There's that one. Similar thing. These are like both a similar size. It doesn't work as well with really big ones. Kind of though. Like, you might not know to look at this that this is as big as it is. You have to come up with, especially when you get down to the bottom like this and all the fabric is up top, you sometimes have to come up with creative ways to keep it out of your way. This is snapped in as well as I can, but like I've had, especially with this one, you can't do too much, because if I've got too much fabric and I try to snap one of these snaps on and force it on, it's going to break. And I have broken them doing that. So you kind of have to like cheat a little bit. Like this is rolled up and then sort of just like clipped just a little bit right there just to hold it there. So it's not, none of this here is actually snapped into the top snap. It's just sort of held in over here and rolled up on this side and tucked in. Sometimes I use those paper clip thingies or like whatever I can use to like keep it as small an area as possible. That's what I do, because I do not, no matter how big it is, I don't want it flopping on my hands. No idea if any of this is making sense or is helpful at all. I only have 2 questions left, so everybody just relax. Somebody else asked me why everything I do is always done on 18 count Ada 2/1. Everything. Absolutely everything. The reason for that, and when I explain why, if I'm wrong about this, please tell me I'm wrong, because I'm sort of tempted to try different things in different fabrics and different counts. I am kind of tempted to do that, but I just feel like, hang on, my nose is itchy. I just feel like with the stuff that I do and full coverage, heaven and earth projects, and like, would a different fabric and I know a different count would make a difference in how big it is, but I really like the coverage that 18 count gives. It covers the Ada really well, and it still keeps it kind of big. As much as I am like completely admiring and fascinated of Ymir's tiny little stitches and tiny little projects, I love it. I'm like, I can't stop watching and like wondering how she does that. I don't know if I would actually want to do that because I like that they're big. I want them to actually be as big as possible. And this is about as big as I can keep it and still cover the Ada really, 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 really well. I like the coverage that 18 count gives. So what was my point? What was I even talking about? Hey, look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Right. And then the fabric itself, I work on Ada because I learned on Ada and I've always used Ada and I'm completely comfortable with it. And good luck trying to get me to try something new. Not gonna happen. So, and I just don't know. And this is the part, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe I will try something new. But I could see if I was doing something that wasn't full coverage and like the background of the fabric was the background of the picture, that I would probably want something that looked different or was a different color or was a different style or something. But when they're completely full coverage, and when I get it framed, my mat and frame are going to go right to the edge. You're not going to see any fabric whatsoever when this is finished and framed. You're not going to see any fabric at all. So would it make any difference at all what fabric I'm using? Because I feel like it wouldn't. Like, I feel like if you saw one of my finished projects and I said, this one was done on linen and this one was done on Ada and this one was done on even weave. Okay, maybe they were. Like, would you know the difference when they're completely full coverage like that and you can't see any of the fabric? Because if you can't tell the difference and it makes no difference at all, then I might as well just do the thing that I like, right? That's why I do it. The other thing that has come up is I get questions from people who have never stitched a Heaven and Earth design before, and they're really intimidated by them. First of all, you don't need to be intimidated by them. Do I need to do this one more time? Sweet Brown, one last time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You don't need, I know that they look intimidating, but they're not. The end. Okay, I guess we're done here. The patterns from Heaven and Earth are really sectioned off really well in these 10 by 10 blocks on every page, no matter how many pages they are. Like, this one is like, I don't know, 15 pages. My Big Princess is 36 pages. It doesn't really matter how many pages there are. All the pages look like this. And yeah, that looks like a lot, but if you break it down into, it's not one giant, overwhelming, how am I ever going to do this pattern? It's 100 stitches, and that's all it is. It's a 100 stitch pattern, and you're done. And all you have to do is do that 2,500 times. It's really not that intimidating. Yeah, it's going to take a long time, and sometimes some of these squares have a lot of confetti and a lot of color changes and a lot of, like, if you're going to do one square at a time, you will sometimes lose your mind. But you don't have to look at it as a whole and get completely overwhelmed by it. If you can just do, okay, well, maybe I won't be able to do it, but I'll just do 100 stitches. Okay, you did it. And just do 100 more. Okay, you did that too. And then before you know it, you've done a whole page. That wasn't so scary. Now, you don't have to do it that way, and a lot of people don't do it that way. You'll see a lot of people, and this might be like, I might be intimidated by this too if I've never done it before. You'll see a lot of people who are showing their Heaven and Earth, and they've got stitches everywhere, and they've got threads dangling everywhere from where they park them, and because you can do it any way you want. If you want to do cross country and you want to, like, okay, I'm going to stitch this blue everywhere it appears on this page, or even in the entire pattern. Okay, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. Do it. Some people do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. And some people park their threads, and some people, like, it looks like madness. Holy shit, how do you keep track of that? And how do you, like, know where you are? And, like, it looks like chaos. But that's the way some people like to do it. And it looks scarier than it actually is if you've never done it. But if you want to do it and just, like, lose your mind with the ones that are going to make you lose your mind and just stick to 100 stitches at a time, one block at a time, you will realize that it's not as scary as it looks. It's still really fun doing it this way. I do it this way. I've been doing these for years. Like, I feel like I'm good enough to sort of call myself a little bit of a pro. I've done enough of these that I'm comfortable with them. I could do it another way if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I like doing it this way. I don't get, like, there are times when I might say, the cat is down here. I want to just hurry up and get to the cat and just so I can see him. I could do that if I wanted. I could jump down to the cat. I could do his eyeball right here if I wanted to. But for me, it all has to be done at some point. So I might as well just go in order. And I almost prefer doing the, like, stuff that I don't like doing. I almost prefer doing it first so that what I'm left with is the stuff that is actually more fun and I actually want to be doing. I am just going on and on and on and on. The point is that the days of, and some people still do it this way too, finding the middle of the pattern, wherever the hell, I don't even know where that would be. You know, where you have like the old school, here's an arrow here and an arrow here, and you fold your cloth in half and you find the middle and you start in the middle and you work your way out. Those days are over. Let's not do it that way anymore. Start in the top left, wherever that is, right here. Start there and do 100 stitches, and then do 100 more stitches, and then do 100 more stitches, and you'll realize, you might even, once you start getting going, you might realize, okay, I don't need to be locked in to just one square at a time. I can, like, maybe I'll do a whole row or every color that's in here, or I'll do the way I do it, sometimes 2 at a time, or, you know, you'll figure out once you get going that it's not actually that intimidating. Was any of that helpful at all? Did I say anything that made any sense at all? Maybe that's the only time that'll ever happen. But if you like that and you have questions about anything at all, stitching related or not stitching related, anything, I've got a lot going on up here in this old melon up here. If you want to know what's in here and you want to take it out and put it over here, right here, just ask me. We could do this again sometime. If not, whatever. Close it up. Let's play the theme song. Let's move on. Ask me anything. All right. Giveaway. Let's give shit away. First, before we start, this is for the people who might have actually skipped ahead to this point when I said you can skip ahead to the end if you just want free stuff. What the hell are you doing? You actually skipped through my entire video just to get free shit? You cheapskate. So I don't really know how to do this. I've never done it before. Could just like, here's the one that I'm going to give away and like whoever wants it can like, but I don't know, like I thought maybe it'd be better to give you some options. So I picked out 4 patterns that I'm 100% comfortable getting rid of. So if anybody wants one of these are like whoever wins, you can just tell me which one you want, or you can tell me in the comments which one you want, or if you're okay with any of them and just let me pick. Like, I don't know. These are the ones that I picked out that I'm willing to get rid of if anybody's interested. This one is called Earth Dragon. And it's really cool and it's pretty big. It's just, I got this back in my days of like before I started buying stuff on the internet. And I was just, whatever looked big is what I wanted to do, because I just wanted to do big stuff. I don't really care about dragons. So, but it looked cool enough and big enough that I thought I wanted to do it. But then I discovered other things and I discovered the internet finally. So I never got around to it and I never will get around to it. So if anybody thinks they might want to stitch up this Earth Dragon, it doesn't look like much fun. I'm not selling this very well, but look at this. If anybody wants to balance this on their knee, old school, like, that looks manageable, doesn't it? I would probably, if it was me actually doing this, I'd probably find some way to scan that or get that onto my computer and turn it into a PDF or whatever, like just make it a little bit more manageable. But you do whatever you want. If you want this, it's yours. Here's a little book of patterns of if you want something little. Birds. Look at these, bird, tweet, tweet, tweet. There's birds and there's birds here and there's more birds on the back, and none of these are too, I mean, it's black and white. Some people don't like black and white, but they're not too big or crazy or overly complicated. And if you like birds, they're pretty cool. I bought it because I liked it, but I'm just not going to do any of these. So birds, if you want a little pattern book full of birds, there's that one. I don't know if I'm supposed to be like giving away, like, because I don't want to piss off the Heaven and Earth people, because I love Heaven and Earth so much, and they make such a big time when you buy stuff that's like, make sure this is only going to you or whatever. So like, maybe I'm not supposed to, like, I won't give it away if I'm not supposed to, but I have one. It's a mini Halloween one. And it's awesome. It's fantastic. Another one, obviously I bought it because I like it, but I just, with all of my to-do pile, I'm just not ever going to get to it unless I live to be 400 years old. I'm not going to get to it. So it's 270 by 225, not crazy. And if you want to, like, if you love Halloween and you like witches and you like pumpkins and you want to try something cool, might be a good one to dive into if you want that one. I've also got a Mystic Stitch pop art Santa which is also really cool. I love this, but it's just like I've never done a Christmas one for myself. And if I do, I've got several others that I would do before I do this one. So I'm probably just not going to do it. I'm not going to like overwhelm my house with nothing but Christmas. And I've got at least 5 that I would put ahead of this for myself, as much as I do love this. But if anybody likes this cool looking Santa, 250 by 250, big, but not crazy big. So if any of those look appealing, I would love to just do something that's like, hey, thanks guys, 500, 600, 700, however many people are here. I don't care how many people, I mean, I do care how many people are here, but like, it doesn't have to be like 500 or like 1,000. Like, who cares about 5s and 0s? I just care that you're all here and you're having a good time, and I want to say thank you. So if anybody likes any of those, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I honestly have no idea how I'm going to do this. I'm gonna put in like some extra little treats in there too. I'm not just gonna send you like a pattern. Like, I'll do something. Like, if you don't live in Canada, maybe I'll bulk it up with some cool Canadian stuff or Canadian treats. If you are in Canada, I'll figure something else out. But I'll put in a bunch of mystery treats with it too, not just this. So I don't really know how I'm gonna do this. I've never done this before. I did test out the YouTube random comment thingy, so I think that's how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to search for a word. The word that I have picked is octopus. Here it is right here. Octopus. Because that's a word that if you say that somewhere in your comment, I will know for sure, for 100% certainty, that you actually want to be entered in this. Otherwise, I might just be messaging you, hey, can you give me your address? Like I'm some kind of creep. And like, just because you said the word floss, everybody says floss. I got to pick a word that is pretty obvious that this is what you want. So say octopus somewhere in your comment. Even if the only comment you want to leave is octopus, just say the word octopus. And then I'll know that you want to be entered in this thing. And I will pick a random comment, or maybe 2 comments. I don't know. I've got 4 things. Maybe I'll pick 2 people. Like, I don't know. This is going to be the most disastrous giveaway in history. I don't know what I'm giving away. I don't know how many people I'm giving it to. And I don't know what the deadline for you to enter is. This is going to be fun. So I can't tell you when I'm going to do this draw. I can tell you for sure that it won't be before Sunday where's my calendar? Sunday the 14th. Oh, Valentine's Day. It won't be before that. So if you say octopus before Valentine's Day, you're definitely in. If you're going to do it after that, you take your chances. Because at some point during that week, the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, something like that, one of those days is when I'm going to film my next one. And I cannot tell you what day that is. So if you're in by the 14th, you're in. If you want to wait till after that, you take your chances. But whenever I sit down to make my next video, that's when I'm going to do the random octopus comment. Maybe I'll do 2 of them. Whatever I feel like at the time. And I'll let you know who won. Isn't this fun? Shouldn't we do this again? One last thing before I go, completely not stitching related, is just kind of like a heads up. I don't have any actual specific plans for this, or like it's not like I'm telling you this because like something is coming, but I feel like I might at some point this year, or sometime soon, or maybe not sometime soon, I don't know, sometime I might start using this channel for things other than just Flosstube, because I've got things that I have already done in the past, and I've got things that I've already written that I wanted to do and just had no reason for, or I've got like, can you imagine what's going on in this brain right now that like I'm trying to get stuff out that just won't. Where's my outlet? I have no outlet. Sometimes I don't even fit into a floss tube, and I'm just like I'm bursting with these crazy ideas that I want to be like, just at least just get them out of my brain so I can have some rest. But now that I have a YouTube channel, maybe that's my outlet. Maybe I can just throw shit up there. So I'm not saying that I have any actual plans for any specific things at this moment, but I'm just telling you that if at some point in the future you see, hey, Darcy posted a new video. What the fuck? What is this nonsense? This isn't even... He's completely lost his marbles. Now he forgot even what he was doing. That might happen. If you don't care about anything except FlosStube, fear not. I have no intention to ever stop doing this. So if you're just here just for this, you'll have it. But if I start doing other random things or other things and put them in other categories or whatever, if you're like curious to check those out or you don't care at all, which either way, whatever. I'm just glad you're here. That's all. I just wanted you to know that if I post something that's not stitching related, I haven't completely lost my mind. And you can watch it or you can not watch it. And if you just want this, you'll have it. That's all I wanted to tell you. I love you all. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to the old people. Thanks to the new people. Thanks to the squad. Thanks to everybody for being here. And I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Ain't nobody got time for that.